Welcome everyone, this is your host Abraham L. Jaguar, a professional game master. First of all, this channel is proudly sponsored by the Crueltide Pocket Rulebook Kickstarter. In this tabletop RPG, Santa Claus has been captured and you need to rescue him, role-playing as any sort of fantasy creature imaginable. You could be a human with holiday powers, perhaps one of Santa's helpers, an elf, maybe a gingerbread cookie golem, or perhaps a talking reindeer. It's up to you to restore the holiday cheer and check out those stretch goals. This channel is also proudly sponsored by TTRPG Studios, the publishers and developers of Dames of Asstoria, a tabletop role-playing game where you play as monster girls experiencing high adventure in a world that doesn't fully accept them. They have also released the Pay What You Want tabletop RPG Daughters of Lamb, where you get to play as cybernetic nuns with guns, looking for the missing pieces of their AI god. This channel is also proudly sponsored by the Red Room Publishing. Please check out their store for exclusive tabletop RPG products and check out their free tabletop RPG, the Red Roleplaying Game, a generic system that is able to handle any sort of theme, genre, flavor, setting that you can think of. Check out all of these amazing products. The links will be in the description and in the pinned comment as well. A moment, please, while I maximize. There we go. All right, this time I wanted to talk about the most recent part of the Vampyrvania campaign. Wow, it was so exciting. It was very, how you say, I was at the edge of my seat. I was so afraid that the player characters were going to get killed by the enemies. I would say that particular scenario of the officially released scenarios, the Cursed Cloister, and of course, it's going to contain spoilers for the adventure module for the campaign. So if you haven't seen it yet, please check out the playlist in the description. Or if you don't care about spoilers, then continue watching, of course. But the of the official scenarios, the one in the core book, the Clock Tower, and this one, the Cursed Cloister. The Cursed Cloister is indeed the most difficult of them all. I'm glad that it has several options to enhance or um, reduce the difficulty. That way you can adjust it for your group. But I always tweak with the scenarios. If something feels like, oh, that's not fun, or doesn't make sense with the rest of the campaign, or that power needs to be modified, I always tweak the scenarios, of course. But even with the tweaks, like it was so very challenging. That would have been a total party kill if the player characters did not take the appropriate actions. So the enemies, it almost feels like you have to fight every enemy twice because of the mutations. They're basically like cultists. You defeat them, and they come back to life as tentacle aberrations. And some of them even summon things, this Cthulhu or Cthulhu type of monsters, like woof, and they fight against the mummies as well. I was pretty sure that Aloysius was dying in that game, but survived with one hit point, and because he managed to bandage his own wounds, funny enough, right? Getting hurt by the wrappings, by the mummy wrappings or bandages of the mummies, but at the same time, you also want to bandage your wounds, your cuts, and perhaps massage your injuries. But yeah, the very difficult encounters. Incredible that they managed to survive all of that. Mm, I think the great use of spells by Liam, of changing using the ice spell, then using the lightning spell, and Yukiro using the fire, and even trying to tank some damage for Aloysius. She turned into mist and went close to him to take on the damage if needed. That was those were great maneuvers in combat. In the case of Aloysius, like Nikos attempted so many things, but sometimes the luck of the dice is not in your favor. That's why you always roleplay to see if the game master is applying some bonuses. And I was applying bonuses, not only giving favor, but also reducing the difficulty number when the action made sense, but still the numbers were pretty low. Like Nikos is not joking. He definitely needs to how you say uncurse himself. His rolls are very low. I recommend using some sort of incense like dragon's blood or something like that because he was rolling 9, 6, 9, like very low numbers. And I was even like, okay, he's doing the flips and he's sliding and he's attacking, so I'm going to lower this number as low as this, right? And he still rolled under the level. Oh, but like I said, that's part of the fun of tabletop RPGs. The unpredictability, the chaos, part of that swinginess. It also represents the unpredictable things that happen in real life. But here you have it occurring in fiction. I think that's a good topic for another video. I should do it for another video some other time. But yes, but I do want to point out some how we say things that could be corrected for the role play. Well, in the case of Nikos, there was this moment when he threw the cross and it was batted away, swatted away by the enemy. So he wasn't very sure if the cross was batted away and fell somewhere, and he no longer had the use of it, or if he could still use it. Oh, but then he said, "Oh, I have one question." Poof, and that like destroyed the immersion we had going because it's like when you're performing in a band, a music band. You're playing the song with your group. You're playing the guitar. You have the drums. You have the vocalist. Imagine if you had the song going and suddenly, hey, should I use like a more like a vibrato during this part of the song, or should I go a lower tone? So it didn't make sense. Like, wow, yeah. I always say two things that are key to roleplay. Roleplay solves everything. If you don't know if you can use the cross, roleplay. I search for my cross to see if I am able to throw it. And then the game master will inform you via description because the game master is your senses, your interaction with the game world is described by the game master, the results of such interactions. If the cross was still available, you find your trusty cross ready to be used, right? You find the cross on your belt, find the cross in your hand. The game master will inform you. No problem, no need to break the immersion. If it is not there, but like I said, could be, maybe the attack had some sort of special property that neutralized the cross. You realize that your cross is nowhere to be seen. You cannot use it. So roleplay solves everything. Also, in the case of Juan, one time he asked me, "Do I need to roll twice?" Like, don't worry about it. The game master, if he tells you, roll magic, roll magic once. If you need to roll twice, roll magic again, or the game master will tell you, roll twice. Because sometimes I apply those penalties, like I said in roleplay, when the character is thinking about what he or she is going to do, what he will do, or asking questions. It's counted a bit like a delay. You can take your time in coming up with your descriptions, with your roleplay. There is no rush. But when the thing occurs in the fiction, I am going to, I will, Juan didn't do that, of course, but yeah, in the case of mechanics, don't worry about don't ask questions to the game master if you need to roll how many. No, the game master will tell you. If he doesn't tell you, too bad. Like the game master messed up, and you only need to roll once instead of twice. Just let it flow. Let it flow. Uh, like my other, like I said, roleplay solves everything, but also giving priority to roleplay. It is better to roleplay and fail in character than not to roleplay and fail as a player. So don't worry about the game master describe these mechanics or whatever. He didn't describe it. Oh, tough luck. The game master messed it up and the game proceeds as normal. Because you could say, oh, game master, you didn't apply this penalty to me. He messed up. In the fiction, your character didn't suffer that penalty because he suddenly had this enthusiasm. His spirits went up and now he is fighting better, right? But yeah, overall, very exciting session, very tense with those moments where I think all the players felt the danger, the desperation, sometimes the sense of hopelessness as they were moving about, attacking when the Cthulhu or Cthulhu for the purists, the Cthulhu monster carried out those words with the maddening effect. They had lost sight of him completely. They had forgotten about him. They had become too focused on the cultists and the huge demonic cross that was flying all over the church. So the thing was preparing this attack. So yeah, it was very tense, and it happens. It happens in real life. They analyze various real life battle situations, and sometimes some tragedies occur when you are not aware of the battlefield. You could always remember to roleplay. I look around, searching for the tentacled winged aberration. Maybe someone could have spotted that and attacked the monster. But yeah, overall, a really good session. Remember that you perceive the game world based on the description of the game master, but if there is something tricky, something hidden, I also like it how um, Nikos as Aloysius he started to start just going around the church, hitting all the walls desperately, looking for until he found the coins. So yeah, great session. Also great use on the part of Nikos as Aloysius using the icon to damage the mummies and destroy the wrappings during that initial part of the battle. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, consider joining as a member using the super thanks button. Take a look at the information in the description and in the pinned comment. This has been your host, Abraham L. Jaguar, a professional game master. And remember, in tabletop role-playing games, it's not about what you want your characters to do. It's about what your characters are doing. Once again, thank you and see you later.